All right, we're going to go ahead and start with the first question. All right, as a county commissioner, you're an employee and a representative of Okeechobee. However, first and foremost, you're a citizen of Okeechobee. As a citizen of Okeechobee, how do you feel you have previously helped improve our community?
That was a long-winded question, but we'll try to make it short. In my short 7 years coming back to Okeechobee, my wife and I have worked through the Main Street organizations, and we have created an organization which has overtaken a lot of different things in this community. For example, brought in various types of promotions, charity barbecues for people who were in need. And all of this was all in a volunteer basis. The number of hours that I create, that I've had in my time of volunteering in this particular community has, okay, you don't want me to touch it, okay. The amount of time I volunteered in this community is astronomical. In fact, my wife says that today is I work more hours than I usually used to do, and when I got paid a lot of money. But I enjoy the time. The time is very rewarding, and I believe that if you take a look at what we have done and what I have accomplished in this particular community, you will see that there's a value added to the opportunity that is posed to you today or in November when we come up to have a vote. Thank you very much.
I'm just too hot. I need to go this way. Nice and mild for me.
Well, I haven't really kept a list of all the great things I've done. You kind of naturally chip in where you can, and you never think about it. But the things I do try to strive to do is, be an obedient member of God's family and be a strong leader for my own family, and that's the key ingredients to being a good citizen, no matter what you do. Thank you.
Back in my younger days, I was real active in all civic groups, organizations, JCs, Chamber of Commerce. I've always been one to, if somebody called me and needed help, I'd be the first one on the doorstep, offering help. I feel like the 12 years I served as county commissioner, I did a lot of things that, and some of the questions that we're going to be asked tonight, I'll go back and verify that. Visiting other counties, seeing what they did, how they did it, and if it would work for them, then let's try it, but if it didn't work, let's don't. So I feel that I've done my part, or I still want to do a part, but I feel like I have shown that what I can do and what I will do. Thank you.
I think in my previous years, as 12 years as city councilman, I learned a lot by growing in politics there. I set 5 goals. Each year, I set a goal to improve the city and the employees and everyone in the community. I've helped with numerous fundraisers, benefits for people who needed their help. I'm just a phone call away from everyone. But what I have not done myself, I've had the help of many friends and my family to help the citizens of this community. I don't know how to say it, but like Jared said, the good Lord gave me a lot of ideas and hope, and I lean on Him a whole lot. So what I've done for this community is also on His shoulders. And I thank y'all for listening for what we have to say, because our community needs our help. Each one of us, as a commissioner, we can get together, put our heads together, and get things done. This budget year is really a nightmare, but I think in the long run we can do our things for the community and our employees. Thank you.
I watched the paddle this time. Y'all remember back in October of '07 when the lake levels in Lake Okeechobee dropped down to approximately 8 feet? Well, my wife drives by Port Mayaca every day, twice, and we kept realizing that the gates were wide open at Port Mayaca. So So I did some research on the internet and found out through the Army Corps of Engineers that they had dumped 250 billion gallons of water out of that lake when there was supposedly a drought condition. The end result of that was we put such stress on businesses around the lake, the fishing, you couldn't fish, the bait houses were having trouble surviving, they were going under. And so I was able to meet with a gentleman by the name of Fred Rapak from South Florida Water Management at a meeting at one of the water control districts. And when I showed him the photographs, I said, I think someone on your staff is not being 100% fair and even with you. I'd like you to go out and take a look at what's really out there. I said, I can't even mow my backyard because there's so much water in my back. I live up under the Kissimmee River. So I was able through that to get South Florida Water Management and a letter to Governor Chris, which I have a copy of, advising him what was happening. Those gates were subsequently closed, the water came back up, and it has held at above 13 feet since then. So we start to see the lake starting to come back again now and survive. I'm very glad that I was able to do that for not only the citizens of Okeechobee, but all the communities completely around the lake, because they were tremendously impacted by what South Florida Water Management had created by dumping all that water. And at a time when the net result of that is that the people on the coast, because now the utilities were losing money because they cut us to one day a day watering, that ended up with an increase in rates and still only 1 day of watering. So that's what we're trying to avoid, is working smart, working efficiently, and working with each other to create solutions, simple solutions to sometimes difficult problems. And that's what I hope to be able to do at Okeechobee County. Thank you very much.
You know, I think the question is kind of twofold. I can stand up here and tell you, any of y'all that have been involved in Okeechobee, have been around Okeechobee, know my family and I have been involved with just about every board that comes up. It seems like one of us gets a phone call. But I think the most rewarding thing, and I think when I look at the long-term contributions to my community, I think about my time coaching at OCRA or the county rec programs, or at my church, working up there with those rep programs. And you know, I see these kids now, as my kids have grown up, my son's fixing to go off to college, and I still have those kids come up to me today and, hey, Coach Joey or Ref, you know, I think that's my biggest contribution. All the other accolades or whatever that I may pin on my wall or have plaques for, the only thing I'm really going to remember or really going to count on, and I hope and pray that people remember me for, is the time I gave directly to those people. I'll do what I can any way I can, but I think my biggest contribution, as I look back, that I'm most proud of, is my contribution working with my kids and my kids' friends and even the kids I didn't know. So hopefully that produces some long-term consequences for Okeechobee County, that those kids see that volunteerism, see the commitment and dedication to other people's children, and will give back that same time to this community.